YouTube, this is Wolves of Hyrule, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my top 10 favorite Pokemon. Sorry for the horrible lag, my computer sucks. But I digress. Pokemon is one of the best series for video games. It's a wonderful RPG, it has the style and grace of a Nintendo game, and you can catch as many Pokemon as you want and transfer them over the internet now. As a 90s kid, that is pretty significant. Just saying. Because, well, back in my day, all you could do is put a link cable in and, well, hope for the best. Most of the time it didn't even work. But enough of me yammering here. How about I show you guys my top 10 favorite Pokemon of all time? And I know my list varies depending on what Pokemon you like. I know some of yours aren't going to appear on my list, but at least enjoy. Don't flame me for this, don't hate me for this, blah 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 blah. So how about we get the sucker started? Alright, so before we begin, I'd like to leave a bit of a disclaimer here. All the pictures in this top 10 list came off of Google, okay? So, yeah, they all technically belong to their respected owners, and I'm not claiming them in any way, shape, or form. Now that we got that out of the way, I guess I'd like to start with my Pokemon on my number 10 spot here. He's a bit of a rowdy little guy, or it's a bit of a rowdy little guy, and it's one of the first Pokemon you encounter in Gen 3. And I'm talking about the feisty little dog, Poochyena. Now, Poochyena, while not very powerful, I love its look, and it turns into one of my other favorite Pokemon, which isn't on this list. The reason why I chose Poochyena over Mightyena is probably because, I don't know, it has a charm. It's cute. Or in my opinion, it's cute. I don't know, I like Poochyena. It's adorable. It's a cute little dog. It has a Pokedex entry for running its prey rampant before it captures them. And it's, well, I don't know. Can you really ever hurt this little guy? Look at him. Although, again, not powerful, his stats are pretty low, and he's only a first evolution, he does have some of his graces. His bite is actually a very good attack to learn, and, well, at a start anyway, it's a very decent attack. I used it constantly when I had my first Poochyena, and then when it evolved, it learned Feint Attack, so I was pretty happy. So, there's my number 10. Now, number 9, Electabuzz. Now, I like Electabuzz a lot more than its third evolution, for one reason. As a kid, I always played Pokemon Stadium, and always one of my favorite Pokemon to choose, for one reason or another, I don't know why, was Electabuzz. So when Pokemon Leaf Green came out and I found out that I couldn't capture Electabuzzes, that I was stuck with Magmars at some point in the game, I was kind of ticked. So I had to get my friend who had Fire Red to trade me over his Electabuzz. But I don't know, it's always had that kind of charm for me. It's a nice little Pokemon. It knows Thunder Punch, which was one of my favorite moves back when I was little. And, well, it's a pretty powerful type. Yeah, I know, I didn't exactly care for, this is just my opinion, I didn't exactly care for Electivire, or however the hell you pronounce it. I don't know, it doesn't have that same type of fearsome look to it. It looks more like a giant bee, in my opinion. It looks like a giant bee with arms. Yeah, I know it's more powerful. Yeah, I know it probably is a lot better than silly old Electabuzz. But I don't know, this Pokemon has that kind of spark for me, and I enjoy electric types. It's one of my definite favorite electric types. But it definitely wins over its evolution. And, wouldn't exactly like to get this thing pissed off. I loved using Thunder and Thunder Shock with this little guy. And I know Thunder Shock isn't exactly a powerful move, but at Pokemon Stadium, I don't know, even though it looked like Thunderbolt and Thunder, I used to always use Thunder Shock with my Electabuzz that I got in Gen 1. So, I guess it's more of the nostalgia feel that gets me with this Pokemon than anything. And number 8 is Tyranitar, the third evolution of the Larvitar Pupitar Gen line. Came from Gen 2. I don't know, since I've known this Pokemon, it's always had, again, that type of attraction to me. I've always liked the bigger Pokemon, the bigger, more buff, more powerful looking Pokemon in general. And on my list I have quite a few of them. But, I don't know, Tyranitar, even though it's, like in battle, I don't know, again, Pokemon Stadium, I'm using this as reference. Pokemon Stadium 2, his attacks aren't very good. He only knows Mud Slap and Crunch, Dynamic Punch, and I think Swift? I don't know, but his attack was very low in that game. It wasn't exactly a pleasing thing to use. It was very, how would you put it, strenuous to keep Tyranitar on the field. But beside that, I used Tyranitar in the Gen games after this, and I love its shiny evolution. Just black, red tummy. It looks awesome. And yes, I did just use the word tummy. But, I don't know. When I was playing Pokemon Coliseum when I was younger and I found out that I used my Master Ball on the wrong Pokemon and found out Tyranitar was next, I was pretty crushed. I was pretty ticked, but meh. Again, another Pokemon you wouldn't exactly want to make angry. It's one of the more badass Pokemon in Pokemon Forever, and that was because of the whole dark Pokemon type of mechanic, which I still call Shadow Pokemon. I don't care what people think. But regardless, again, another Pokemon sheds a spark with me that I have no idea why. But I will always choose Tyranitar over a lot of other Pokemon. Especially in my games, like in Y, I have one that knows Hyper Beam and a few other moves. Don't exactly have my Y in front of me right now, so I can't exactly say, but no, it's one of my more powerful Pokemon, level 89 currently, and it's always going to have that type of shine. Now, number 7 on my list is Torterra, and I know. Torterra is a bit of a heavyweight. He's not like Grovyle, who's a lightweight, or Serperior, who's a lightweight kind of grass-type Pokemon. He's more like a Venusaur, but you know what? This was my Pokemon that I got in Pokemon Pearl, and I got Turtwig, obviously, and then it evolved, but it's definitely one of my favorites. I still have it to this day. It's very powerful, especially when it knows Leaf Storm. Leaf Storm is one of its most powerful moves, and every time I mate this Pokemon with something, the eggs always learn Leaf Storm, which is a really nice thing. Like, I could have a baby Turtwig with Leaf Storm, or a Trico with Leaf Storm. It's kind of nice. And also, Torterra's got actually a pretty decent attack stat. And I know most people are like, I got attack on the internet for the attack stat, but in my opinion, it's one of my most powerful Pokemon I've ever owned. That's why when Pokebank comes out, I cannot wait to transfer it. Well, it's already out, but you know what I mean. Once I get internet, that's Wi-Fi, that I could transfer to Pokebank. Ugh, and Torterra's Frenzy Plant just makes it all more deadly. Definitely one of my favorite Pokemon in Gen 4. Probably is. Nah, it's not my favorite in Gen 4, but if it learns Frenzy Plant, Leaf Storm, Hyper Beam, and Earthquake, that thing's pretty much unstoppable. It's a tank. And when its stats are all increased and its moves are all 100% and top notch, let's just say you got one Pokemon in your hands you would not want to mess with. Up next is Dragonite. And Dragonite, again, another Pokemon that has that flair with me, but it's not for the same reason as Poochyena, Electabuzz, and Tyranitar. Dragonite, even though it looks like a big, happy, bubbly little dude right here, he's one of the strongest Pokemon out there. He's one of what you would call the pseudo-legendaries. I didn't exactly know that until recently. Either way, it's a very powerful Pokemon, one of the most powerful dragon types. And even though fairy types can kill Dragonites now, which is pretty sad, well, I don't know. Again, another Pokemon takes that type of shine to me. I always have had a Dragonite. In blue, I had a Dragonite. Yellow, I transferred one from Leaf Green to Sapphire. I traded a shiny Roserade for a level 100 one from some 10-year-old. And I've just always had one. It's one of my favorite Pokemon. And I gotta say, I love what the anime did with Iris's Dragonite. Now that brings back. We grew up on that bubbly looking, happy looking dragon, that one that didn't look like it wanted to fight. Her Dragonite is insane. It brings back that awesome kind of badass dragon type sort of ordeal back into what Dragonite was intended. And I know it looks like big, kind of like Barney with wings, but as Iris's is, it basically just gave turn back to badass dragon type Pokemon. That thing is a rampant sociopath. I love it. I love her Dragonite. I wish my Dragonite was like that instead of a happy looking, cartoony kind of character. But, I digress. Now, for number 5 on my list, we got Gengar. Oh, my bad. Number 4 on my list. Ugh, hang on for one moment. Yeah, number 4, definitely. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. Number 4 on my list is none other than Gengar. Now, Gengar is just fucking awesome. He's resistant to normal type moves. He's resistant to fighting type moves. He can learn Thunderbolt. He's one of the freakiest looking Pokemon ever. He's the Pokemon that made Ash have fun when he was dead. Besides Ghastly and Haunter, which are also 2 of my faves. But I gotta say, again, another Pokemon that strikes a charm, but it's mostly nostalgia. Again, Pokemon Stadium, another one of my favorite Pokemon I always chose. Always chose. And I know picking favorites in games can be kind of strenuous. Everyone does. Everyone has picked their favorites, and Gengar is always on my list. No Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Curse. Just a well-rounded type. And I'm happy that it got a Mega Evolution. Same with Tyranitar. I'm happy that they both got Mega Evolutions in X and Y. Of course, I haven't found Gengar yet, but I'm planning on it and looking everywhere for it because, again, Gengar is one of the best Pokemon I've used. It always pulls through for me and everything. And I think Gengar really struck a key with me when I was playing Pokemon Diamond and Pearl and Platinum. And I'm pretty sure it was Platinum because I traded for one. And what happened was, I don't know, it just kind of snuck into my basic team and I beat the Elite Four with it. So I was very happy with it. As a kid, I always picked Gengar in Stadium, but I don't know. And I had a plushie of him and everything, but probably what made me love the character the most, it had to have come from Pokemon Platinum. Because I have such an appreciation now for this character ever since I played Platinum. And it's just, well, it's nice. It's a very nice kind of feel. Because now I have a Ghost type that I can use constantly and it causes me no problems. And I can learn Psychic type moves. So it's like, sweet. I got a Pokemon that knows everything. Kind of like a Kecleon, but not as annoying as a Kecleon. Now, number 3, and I'm sure it's number 3. I'm sorry, technical difficulties. Is Ditto. And I know what you're thinking, Ditto, why Ditto? And Ditto is another one of them, basically, Pokemon I can't explain. Ditto, when I was a kid, I used to think was such a stupid little thing. But now I look at it, it's like, I need a Ditto. I need to have a Ditto. And it's mostly because of the actual handheld RPGs that you need a Ditto. And everyone can agree, basically you catch a Ditto just to be the tortured soul playmate of all your Pokemon. And don't get me wrong, Ditto, I love you and all. But the reason why you're my favorite is not just because you look cute. It's because you also have given me so many, like, little shinies. And I have a shiny one of you. And that's what I mean. Like, I cannot think of the method name right now, Masuda. There we go. I use the Masuda method. However, I don't know. I've had more luck with the Masuda method trying it with Mudkip, like trying to get Mudkips and trying to get Dratini's. I've had the most success. Like I got a Dratini in my 8th egg, a shiny one, from having a Japanese Ditto. And in the anime, I know Ditto didn't exactly transform well into other Pokemon, but again, Ditto, you hold a place in my heart. Now, number 2, and I know I just beat Pikachu. I find Pikachu to be overrated. And my number 2 is definitely Raichu. Raichu is that badass little mouse guy. And, well, he's definitely made himself clear in my little book of happy Pokemon that I pick every single time. Well, I've always had Raichu in my party. That's another one of my Pokemon I always have. At least in Gen 1 and Gen 5. I haven't had one in Gen 6 because I'm having a bitch of a time finding a Pikachu in Santaloon Forest. And I don't know why. I really don't. I just keep running into Scatterbug, and I just gave up. So I'm hoping on Global Trade I can find at least a Pikachu I can get. Then maybe get like some Raichus in there. Because I have a level 100 Raichu in a Gen 5. I have it in my black, but I'd love to get another one. But anyways, why I love this Pokemon. Raichu is that powerful, Ash, why didn't you ever let your Pokemon evolve kind of Pokemon. I hated it when he did not let him evolve into Raichu. That was probably the biggest piss off in the entire series. That he did not let him evolve. And I know it kind of seems a bit over dramatic, but man, if Pikachu would have evolved, that would have probably been the most powerful Pokemon on the show. Like back when Pikachu used to be the strongest Pokemon out there and used to cause forests to explode and everything else. And now he gets beaten by Snivy. What the hell? But anyway, if he would have transformed his Pikachu into a Raichu, pardon my French, I think that the series would have actually hit a stronger point, and maybe Ash would have regretted turning his Pikachu into a Raichu, but then his Pikachu, i.e. Raichu, would have, well, helped him see past that. I know he didn't want to force his Pokemon to evolve to get them to where they need to be and get them as powerful as he wants them to be, but I find it that he should have at least evolved Pikachu then and there, because then he would have probably beaten all those Pokemon League championships and everything else. Yeah, I know Raichu is, and remember when Raichu when Ash was fighting Raichu, I'm pretty sure it was Ash, and Raichu used his tail to stabilize himself. I think it was the first season where Raichu stood on its tail to prevent itself from being hit by Earthquake. It was either that or it was Pikachu. I can't remember, but definitely a Pokemon that Ash should have considered. I love this Pokemon. Love it. Definitely on my list for that reason. And my number one Pokemon of all time goes to Lucario. Yep, told you it wasn't my favorite Gen 4 Pokemon. Torterra was not my favorite 4th Gen. It had to have been Lucario. And I've known about Lucario since 2005 when the Japanese version of Lucario and the Mystery of Mew came out. It was announced in a book I got, like a magazine. And I saw this Pokemon for the first time along with Chatot, Manaphy, Weasel, and Mantike. Those are the 4 Pokemon that they showed in there, but they were all named different names, like Papapura or something like that. And Lucario was the only one that had its name not changed. And I just looked at that Pokemon and I thought, wow, that Pokemon looks super powerful. And I saw him next to Sir Air, and I was just like, that is a cool looking Pokemon. I can't wait for this movie to come out here. Had to wait a year, but hell, definitely a good movie. Lucario was definitely in my team from Gen 4 up, just because of the fact that he's powerful. I remember when I was a kid, after I first saw Lucario, and I thought it was an elemental type. Yeah, elemental. And I'm not talking about elemental fangs, where you can have, like, Ice Fang, Fire Fang, Thunder Fang. I thought it had, and it was probably because of a Pokemon card I had that was Lugia EX with Elemental Blast. I thought it was an elemental Pokemon, because the type was not determined. So I thought it knew, like, Elemental Blast and stuff like that. It could learn every move possible, kind of like a Kecleon could. But I was definitely wrong when he was fighting a Steel type after I got Pearl. But anyways, Lucario is a badass. He's definitely that type of Pokemon that would kill you. Definitely that type of Pokemon that would kill you if it did not like you. And it's a very powerful member of my team. Knows Aura Sphere, Close Combat, have a shiny one just specifically for that reason. And I can definitely say I enjoyed the movie and I enjoyed the end. And Lucario is a definite, probably one of the most loyal Pokemon I've ever seen. Sure, he had doubts in Aaron and everything else, but in the end, all he did was he got to learn the truth, and that was a pretty sad ending with Lucario. I mean, yes, spoilers, by the way. Lucario cried because he watched Aaron die right in front of his eyes after the whole Aura incident. But that is my top 10. That is my top 10 favorite Pokemon. And yeah, I know, crappy narration, blah blah blah, and everything else. I'm sorry, it's my first YouTube video. So if you did like it, or if any of your Pokemon appeared on the list, tell me in your comments below. what Pokemon are your favorite? I'd like to know as well. So subscribe to me today. And once I get a little bit better at this, well, we'll just have to see where it goes from here. This is Wolves of Hyrule, signing out.